Welcome to Issues Today. Yours truly, Don Onyenji here. I want to believe you're doing great. And today is June 12, 2022. And you know what it means in Nigeria. And so, today being June 12, you know why it is. But if you've forgotten, we're going to recap it. And it relates to the election back in 1993 of late MKO Abiola as president of Nigeria, the president that never was. The election was cancelled, and a lot of noise was made, agitations were made, raised everywhere. And this issue stuck in the minds of Nigerians over the years. The rest is the story you and I know. We'll retouch it today, and then after that we'll move on to touch the issue of continuous voter registration that's ongoing in Nigeria. Of course, you do know that everybody that's turned 18 years have been asked, of course, with their constitutional right to go and get their voter registration card. Very important. And it appears that the number of people who are going for it have increased recently. We're going to touch it. And so in our studios right now, we have two gentlemen that are going to do justice to these issues. Dr. Emma Ezenwaji is the general manager of Sejup. Dr. Ezenwaji, welcome to our studios.
Thank you. Welcome, listener.
And of course, another person is coming from the ecclesiastics. And I'm talking about Reverend Canon Jason Onyakabusi. He is the vicar, St. John's Anglican Church, Abagana. Reverend Canon, you're welcome to our studios.
And Secretary of Sejup.
And Secretary of Sejup, yes. Lest I forget that, very important. And if you don't know, Sejup is a Society for Equity, Justice and Peace, and they are also the sponsors of this event, this program here, for the past 6 years, insisting that Nigerians must be educated on social, economic, justice, peace, political and other issues. That's why we're here, and doling out money to the Anambra Broadcasting Service to put petrol, gasoline into the gensets. That is in case our power fluctuates, and to ensure that Nigerians do the right thing, engaged appropriately. We want to appreciate Sejup once more. Dr. Ezenwaji, you can send our greetings and appreciations once more to the Anglican Communion Anambra State for this.
Thank you.
We have to say it loud and clear.
Thank you, sir.
It's not a mean job, and we'll encourage other groups to also continue to support public enlightenment in this regard. Also, Nivayeme ka ndị bai we na-aga n'iru echebe gọọmenti mana gọọmenti akpọ afọ n'ala ife anyị eme ka nkụ. And so government has provided infrastructure here like in ABS, and individuals have done so elsewhere. So other groups, non-governmental organizations, individuals will continue to do this. And so let us go back to June 12, 1993. MKO Abiola. Yes, Dr. Ezenwaji, I'm happy you were also in the INEC. You were chief of logistics. I don't know where you were when this happened, but wherever you were as at then, I know you know the story. Can you recap it? Makandi Amaro, not behind the camera, and then the youth most of them may not know.
Thank you, yes. John. Yes, 1993 election was held and assessed as the fairest and most acceptable elections ever taking place in the country. We were in the field. I was an electoral officer in the field, and the then chairman, Professor Humphrey Mosu, was always drumming to our ears that we must get it right that year. And you can now know the number of years between 1993 and now, when the chairman or then chairman of INEC was saying that we're going to get it right. And we got it right. The election was very transparently conducted. People came out en masse, voted, and voted for MKO. The military junta, they had another agenda and decided that the cap didn't fit MKO, and therefore that it would be annulled. And it was annulled. And they instituted an interim administration. 3 months into interim administration, the military struck and General Abacha came in. So I think this is a broad outline what happened. But one thing I want to point out is that the present INEC, they will pardon me if I use, they will not be copying what is happening in advanced countries. Because Humphrey Nwosu looked for something that is indigenous, something that aligns with the life of the people, and that was the option A4. Meeting na meeting in town union. I say, oh, when you're not out, when you're on when you're
so on a line, one has on
support. Messieurs, and look at them photo chief as you get here, I've been a line and no, you're not Aquara can or line. I say, okay, now what will happen? Bo na Abiazia, it won't go. Messi Kuba that na and what a record that if I upon a line, MSC line was as a West Gate. So they now decided that you will be in one line and then you cast the ballot to whoever you want to cast the ballot to. So for me, that 1993 election, President INEC needs to learn so many things. He needs to go back and study what actually made it to be one of the best, as people have already adjudged it.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Zawaji. Canon Jason, I'm sure you are also aware of what happened then. Yes. Well, those days we had many parties, but SDP and NRC were, the major, just as we have it today between PDP and APC. But then Chief MKO Abiola appeared to be winning the election, and suddenly the federal government, the army government, the soldiers and the military junta under General Ibrahim Babangida annulled the election. Pick it up from there, please.
Actually, June 12th remain historic in the history of elections in Nigeria, considering the enthusiasm displayed by the electorate. And then, one other striking thing was that Abiola was a Muslim, and Babagana Kingibe, his running mate, was also a Muslim. And then Bashir Tofa of NRC had Ugo, a Christian.
Ernest
Ugo.
Ernest, yes.
And yet, people overwhelmingly voted for MKO Abiola and Babagana Kingibe.
That had
Muslim tickets.
Okay.
So you see, we also have something to learn from this place. That religion was not an issue then.
Okay.
Religion was not an issue. all Nigerian wanted then was to get it right, get the right person, get the proper people that will run and manage Nigeria as a country. Mana amara m ọgafe ekwekwe omume n'oge a. Amara m ọgafe ekwe omume because one, anya kita, the issue religion is now so sensitive when it comes to electoral matters. So sensitive. Na a ga-akpachapụkwa anya na o nwekwara ike m ekwekwana mme etu esi mie na 1993. Daalụ.
Yes, Dr. Zumwaji, he talked about religion. Today, currently, we are looking out towards 2023. Apart from religion, let's say and ask, is religion an issue, a louder issue now than then? And then let's also bring in tribal issues, ethnic sentiments. Is it louder today than then? In fact, in summary, are Nigerians more divided now than then, or is it the same scenario, which means that perhaps these lines may not come up?
Yes, it is more visible today than in 1993. Because of events. Perhaps that was why the Constitution had to enshrine the federal character principle. That, yes, I know that these people, they don't have enough credible manpower, but go there and get one of the best so that they will be represented. So today, what is happening in Nigeria is not so palatable to many tribes and religion. Look at the high command of the army. Look at the police. Look at the SSS. Look at all of them. All the very high and sensitive positions now went to a particular tribe. So others are feeling excluded because inclusive government is the best government anybody can run in anywhere. Once it is not inclusive, people will feel marginalized. And if you had a governor of Ebonyi last night, he was crying that if our people voted for our people, then some of our people would have been getting 0 or 1. And that takes me to another thing that was not in 1993, and that is the issue of money in politics.
Okay, yeah.
1993, I mean, as an electoral officer, I don't know whether anybody came to my office and said, take this one for bread or take this one. It is anything you are paid in the office, it is okay for you. And they were drumming into our ears, make sure that this election it should go on as one of the best. And we tried our best. So I think the issue of religion, the issue of tribe, the issue of region, all these lines are becoming wider and wider. And it portends a lot of danger for this country.
Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, June 12, June 12 / 2023 elections and voters and all of that, That's something he brought up here, the money politics, even the issue of Dave Umahi, governor of Ebonyi State, lamentations of Dave Umahi. Can let me cap it up. The lamentations of Dave Umahi and Ndindi Igbo. People voted massively for MKO then. What's the difference between that and now? Because primary elections were done then. Today, primary elections have been held. and Ndi Igbo those days appeared not to be crying like this. Today, the lamentations of Ndi Igbo and the agitations by Ndi Igbo are eardrums breaking. Can you do a little analogy between that time and now?
Yes. Dave Umahi lamented. And it's not only Dave Umahi lamenting. If you know his lamentation because of his position and office as a governor.
He's more of a newsmaker.
He's more of a newsmaker. Let me just tell you, the entire Igbo land, Igbo race, is lamenting. Because when you look at, go back to 1999, when we all, this democracy was enthroned with Obasanjo and Atiku. You look at the role Igbos played, especially the late vice president, how he harnessed the G36 that later transformed to People's Democratic Party, and how some other person came out from the prison. I may not call name.
Call name. Obasanjo now. He was
Obasanjo.
Yes, he was in prison.
And became an opportunist.
Yes.
Became an opportunist. And he started reaping where he didn't sow. And then Igbos waited. And then they said rotational thing. It became, whether it was part of the constitution or not. I'm not a politician. But it became something that most of the political parties then agreed on, especially PDP, that power will rotate amongst the six geopolitical zones, which is also a creation of late Dr. Alex Ekwueme. And it started with the Southwest. After 8 years, he moved up north, came down again to South. And every sense of equity and justice demands that Igbo man, Igbo Southeast, if there is anything they call equity, Southeast you have a slot. And suddenly, every other tribe, every other section were interest. Abubazieni Obu, gini melu na ndi Igbo ama etimpu, gini melu interest anyị. Gini men anya ama aba akwa kita, gini men anya ama si na ige wule by all means. You got to go.
Yeah.
So na the Igbo man tụla anya, anyị nwa bụ ndị Igbo, ka nsụbịa na asụba anyị, tụla anya na eme nwata ka emeli ibie obi adị ya mma. Na ife na-ese okwu n'obodo wee ewelekwa. Ewelekwa. Ndị na anyị nwa bụ ndị Igbo. Ọ kakwa mma na anyị kwuru eziokwu, anyị achịkọrọkwa be anyị.
Asịkwa nka njikwa ahụ nke ahụ. Onye kpọọ bayo.
Anyị achịkọrọkwa be anyị. Ọ amarọ mma ngasị na ọhaneze. Number one, ọhaneze nwere ọlụfa na-alụrụ ọfụma. Our governors nwere ọlụfa na-alụrụ ọfụma. Imagine na Yeso Nwike bịara be anyị na-akparị ofu nwa afọ Igbo. Na-agbarị ofu nwa afọ Igbo na be anyị na votu ọbụla anyị tụnyere ya nọ na n'iyi. Abịara m ebe anyị mee kampen mana ọ jọrọ njọ, okeke nwaanyị dị ntị njọ. Ndị Igbo anyị achịkọrọ, ọ dị anyị mma inwe, anyị na-ekpesa mkpesa ka anyị nye anyị ọchịchị na anyị ka o luru, mana anyị edoziri ebe anyị ọfụma. And ọ bụrụ na ndị Igbo edoziri ebe fa ọfụma, etu a ka ife ga-elu anyị ga-esikwa na-efunarị anyị.
Daalụ. Ama na uche m na-agwa m na mgbe i kwuru maka ọhaneze ndị Igbo, na uche m na-agwa m na ọ bụrụ ọhaneze ndị Igbo as a group and leadership. For me, no ọhaneze ya ndị Igbo n'onwe fa.
Ndị Igbo, ndị ndu ndị Igbo na ndị a na-edu edu. Ọhaneze.
Ịbịa.
Ọhaneze asere.
Maka na elotakwa m na nke azọrọ azọ mkpe ike ikpeazụ nọ Buhari ji wee bata 2015 na Atiku na Obi Buhari na Oshibajo yere mana mgbe a kpọrọ Obi declare Obi as Atiku's running mate. Some ndị Igbo, especially our political leaders, babamba, why should it be Obi? And our governors are in South East. Kunu bachambu na bazi n'ụlọ si ka ewere gwa nwa wee jụcha ife amal ka isi member na wee sụọ ya nne.
Ụfọdụ n'ime ba na fe ebe akwa ife.
Ụfọdụ
n'ime ba
na
fe ebe akwa.
Na fe ebezi akwa. That's an area with a lot of political power. No. And ndị mgbago na ndị ofe mmanụ tikwu mkpu ụfọdụ ndị mefasị na unu nwelitekwu unu enwe ike ihe sharụ ya mana ewelitezi o mere eme ewejebe a na-enwe 1 vote na zero which means na onye azụ ma zero ụfọdụ atụkwuru ọrụ onwefa ụfọdụ tụrụ onwe ọ bụrụ sọsọ fa tụrụ onwefa ndị delegate fa akpọ wee jee tụọrọ ndị ọzọ vote
ine anyị hụ na ọkwa na atọ ka atụrụ votu Tinubu Osibanjo and Wike
ọgwụ
votu ndị ọzọ niile amagburu 50 nke ndị ọzọ fọsịrị.
Mana anyị ga-ekenekwe Chukwu ekene Ogbonni ọnụ bụkwa dike Ogbonni ọnụ bụkwa dike agbanyeghịkwa ọ dịka ọnọtụ ka o nwekwu agbanyeghịkwa na onwe n'ọtụ mana o kwupụkwele uche maka na a ga na-ekwu mafaga anụ mafaga aga
ekwube ezi ya bụ ife mgbe o ji wee kwubi ya bụrụ mgbe
ya ka go red light
mgbe o ji wee kwubie ọ gafe ife goolu agago maka na ife a Don na-ekwu ọ bụrụ na anyị jikọtara onwe anyị n'ọrụ wee jebe ya ọgụ anọ round table gwakọrịta n'ihu abụọ ya kedu onye edifiti anyị
elu ebe a na-edina onye akụnye sị na ya I step down for onye I step down for onye I step down ekwubie nna ya nke a ọ dị egwu achọtarụzie na nke Nwike akpa afọ nwere ya etimife na Nwike si na ya abụrụzi onye Igbo ị na-azakwa Nwike abụrụ m onye Igbo
mana olumbosa akpụrụ okwu mme
ọ na-ekwu ya onye na-enwero PVC voter card ya jekwa jee gbaa ya. That is our policy, that is the power, the authority you have to vote in anybody. Onwe kpara anyị mgba say yes ndị in Lagos emechila afia na Alaba market, they went to ebe ahụ to mechie afia number wee karịa voting registration centers. At a point the story had it that one big man came, nke a bụ version police. One big man came and then was ushered in by a police officer. By the time he was coming out, somebody namotie and the Jew na kedivo jeme na ndị mmadụ na ọbanye edupụtakwa ya. So which means not the coifa ka o ji ime wee kwuzie wee sị why eji ba nke a ji mee nke a. The man na-apụrụ akwa nya bazie mba ba na moto pụọ. Shortly after, ndị mmadụ wee were ọkada wee ju everywhere na ndị alaye ndị agboro and all of that. Wee nwee nsogbu dị a. Ndị mmadụ gbabazi ọsọ ma ndị melụchara arụ. And then police now came to quell it. That is police na-asị na ọ dị ka ya asị that somebody told him something and then reactions and all of that. But the point is that the good thing, the INEC says that most likely they're going to discuss with the market traders to now arrange instrumental group registrations. Ndị ajeme tata echi ndị line na group eme because ndị ba ya amabago na ebe a bụ ife eji wee zọ onwe gị whether until I watch your somewhere. Well, your parting statement, Dr. Ezenwaj.
My parting statement is for us to continue to pray as Nigerians regarding June 12, that God will see us through in general election of February 2023.
Okay.
Then for voters registration, ana m ayọ onye nwere card nyakaba ruje wetia. All the very 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 important because iwetia ikike inwe. Ọ bụrụ oluechi, ọ bụrụ muke ịchọ ivote. Don't win. Is it don't win?
Manager of vote. Yes. Manager.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Canon Jason.
Yeah. My prayer is that Nigeria democracy will continue to grow and that it will not be truncated again. And I'm asking Kenya Lundi Aineka Aka start this continuous voter registration. Town unions, communities, and individuals will become a candidate ban a detifa. When they now communities can arrange for seats so that people can conveniently sit and wait as it comes to their turn to register. Because they back I just need go at the line.
Okay, ndị agwaleva bụ community leaders, which means ndị igwe, ndị PG, town unions, na ndị ward leaders, na ndị chairman political party nke abụ ọrụ ọnụ ya alụ. Ka unu wee win any election mgbo.
You are right.
Ekenekwa m unu. We want to thank you, Dr. Ezenwaj. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Reverend Canon Jason, thanks for coming.
God bless you, sir.
I remain yours truly, Don Onyenji. Thanks for being part of this process. All of these efforts are geared towards making our people have our voice in the scheme of things in Nigeria. As you complain, do your own bit of it. I thank the studio hands here and I thank Sejuke for sponsoring. Thank you. Bye for now.